Hello and welcome to this new video tutorial of WooCommerce Multi-Vendor Marketplace Hyperlocal System plugin. And in today's video tutorial, we'll be showing you the front-end workflow for the customers, how the customers would be able to search for the sellers within their location itself. And apart from that, we'll also be showing you how the marketplace sellers would be able to set up their hyperlocal thing, and how the admin would be able to configure the plugin initially as well. So before moving further, let me give you a small gist regarding this particular multi-vendor marketplace hyperlocal plugin for the WooCommerce platform. So basically, this particular plugin focuses on reaching out to a crowd of a particular area or around that area. And as we know that when we are planning to establish an e-commerce store, one should always focus on targeting a specific mass. So obviously, if the focus is laid on a discrete part of anything, one can achieve extremely positive results. So basically, using the multi-vendor hyperlocal marketplace plugin for the WooCommerce platform, you can set up a similar concept, and using this plugin the users would be able to aim to provide services completely on the basis of a local approach, and this way the business objectives can be met more effectively. So let me take you ahead and let me show you basically how this particular multi-vendor marketplace hyperlocal plugin for the WooCommerce platform works. So for that, I'll be taking you first to the web store front end to show you the customer flow, then the seller flow, and lastly I'll be showing you how the admin can initially configure this plugin uh, under his own account panel from the admin backend panel. So let's get ahead and let's go to the front end first. So right now I'm at the WooCommerce marketplace web store front end right now, and you can see that here we have a pop-up wherein we have this particular label, add your location, and we have this particular section wherein we need to enter our location, and then we have this find stores button. All right, so here you can also see that we are available in different regions, and you can also log in from this pop-up as well. So what the customer needs to do, he needs to enter his particular location so that whichever stores are within the vicinity of the customer's location, those stores would be populated and would be displayed to the customer, and then the customer would be able to purchase the products that are from those nearby stores. Now what I'll be doing is I'll be entering my location, and let me type in New York. So basically here you can see that the locations are being populated automatically, and this is using the Google Maps API that the admin is making use of within the module backend configuration settings. So here the customer just needs to tap on his particular location, and then he needs to tap on the find stores button. So as soon as there is a location change, there would be a pop-up that would ask you to empty the cart. So you need to tap the OK button on that particular prompt, and as soon as the location is changed, the cart would be emptied. And this happens whenever for example you're in New York right now and you try and change your location to California, for example. So at that time as well, whenever there's a change in location, the cart would be emptied. So right now what I'll do is I'll tap on the OK button, and this would basically clear out the cart. And if there are any stores that are basically available right near to the customer's location, those would be displayed at the home page. Now here you can see that under the stores, here we have three different stores that are available right now for this particular location that the customer has entered. And from here the customer can view these particular sellers that are there, and can also check the products of these particular sellers. So let me go to this particular seller. So it's the seller with the name John Doe, and here we can see the details like he's from the United States. We can also check his collection, and we can check his recent products as well, and we can buy these products directly by adding them to the cart, and we can get the delivery in a very quick and fast way, because we are making use of the hyperlocal system, wherein these sellers that are very near to the customer uh, are being used for delivering the products to the customers, and the products can also be purchased by the customers from the sellers that are very nearby. After we have set up our location, now if the customer wants to change his location, then how he can do that? So for changing his location, the customer just needs to tap on this icon that you can see here on the bottom left hand corner, the location icon. And if we tap on that, we can see that we can change our location by first clearing out the old location and entering the new location. So right now let me tap back on this particular thing. So here we have added three different products right now. So before proceeding further and placing the orders for these three products, let me show you if we want to change the location, how it can be done and how the cart gets automatically empty. So right now if we hover our mouse on this location icon on the bottom left hand corner, we can see that we are right now in New York, USA. So let me tap that up, and here I'll enter California. To change my location, I'll tap on that. I'll tap find stores. Now we'll be emptying the cart, and we'll see that the cart right now is empty. And if I go back to this location icon, and here we can see that we are right now in California, USA. So here as well there are three different sellers that are available, and if a location where the sellers are not going to deliver the products, then a message is shown that no stores are available within that location. So now let me do one thing. Let me add a few products and let me make a checkout. So for that I'll just go to one of the sellers and I'll be adding a few products. So I'll just add these two, and thereafter I'll be tapping on the wave button. So from the after I've tapped on the wave cart button, I can go ahead and I can choose my hyperlocal shipping for getting the products delivered to my location. So thereafter and here I can enter my address and tap the proceed to checkout button to place my particular order. So that was how the customers would be able to basically set their location and how they can change their location, and according to the location how they can view the sellers and how they can add the respective sellers products to the cart. So now let's get ahead and let's see how this particular hyperlocal plugin can be configured by the vendors, and after that we'll also be showing you the admin end as well, wherein the admin would be making some initial configurations and can set up his origin address. The origin address can also be set up by the sellers, but for that, if the admin has set up the option for the set area as city, state or country, then in that condition only the sellers would be able to set up their origin, whether their origin. And if the set area is set as distance, then in that case the sellers would not be able to set up their origin address. So I'll be showing you that as well. So for that, let me take you to the admin backend first, and then we'll come to the sellers panel. So let me take you to the admin backend first. So here I'm at the WooCommerce multi-vendor marketplace hyperlocal plugins backend right now. So what I'll be doing is I'll be logging in. So here I'm at the web store backend for the WooCommerce multi-vendor marketplace. So let me tap the login button to log into my admin backend panel. So after I've logged in on the side panel, after the successful installation of this particular plugin, the admin would be able to see this particular Woo Marketplace Hyperlocal menu option, and under that he'll be able to see the ship rate and the settings option. So first of all, let's go to the settings option, and then we'll be going to the ship rate section. So under the settings, we have some general settings that are required to be configured by the admin in the first place, and thereafter we can see that we also have the admin origin that needs to be set up. So let's go through each of these options one by one. So the very first one is the Google API key. So the admin needs to register himself for the Google API key, and this would allow basically to display the location at the front end. So whenever any customer is typing in their address, it would be auto-populated, or the location would be auto-populated for the customer to choose, and this is through the Google API key itself. After that, we have the option heading for the location pop window. So as soon as the customer comes at the web store front end, first of all, he needs to enter his location so as to see the different stores that are available for the location that he has entered. So for that pop-up, you can set up the location pop-up here, heading for the location pop-up window. So let me show you how it is visible at the web store front end first. So this is the pop-up that I'm talking about. So here you have set it up as add your location. So here's the add your location option for this. Then we have set ship area, or we can set up the filter products on the basis of. Now here the admin can set the ship area or the filtration of the products on the basis of distance, or city, state, province, and country. So if the distance is chosen, then in this case the values would be measured using the distance that is from the origin of the admin or the seller to the customer's destination. So whenever any shipping costs are to be calculated, they would be calculated according to the distance. Otherwise, if the admin has chosen this as city, state, province, or country, then the admin and the sellers need to set it up as per the city, state, or province, the shipping cost for the same. Then we have the radius unit. We can set up the unit for the radius unit within which the sellers would be able to set up their shipping. Then we have the radius. You can set up the radius in kilometers. Then we have the location icon direction. So basically we can set up the location icon. So basically it's the icon at the front end. So this bottom is the location icon. So you can set it at bottom left, bottom right, top left as per your own requirement. Then we have restrict shop and category pages, whether you want to restrict the shop and category pages for the customers. If you don't want to do that, you can choose it as no, and they can access the shop and the category pages from the web store front end. You can also set up a single seller checkout so that the customers can make a checkout with only a single seller's product. Otherwise, if you choose this option as a no, then customers would be able to make a checkout with the products from multiple sellers at the same time. After the general settings have been done, we just need to navigate to the admin origin, and here we need to add the address for the admin. So I'll just show you this. So I'll just clear out the latitude and longitude here. So as soon as you'll enter your address here, and you need to choose that up, the latitude and longitudes are automatically saved. And lastly, after this, you can tap on the what we say as the save settings button. So first let's choose the set ship area as distance, and let's see what different options does the seller also get when we have chosen this distance. And then we'll be seeing for the state and province what different options does the seller get under the hyperlocal menu option under the seller's account panel. So let me first save this particular setting here for this configuration. Alright, so we have saved the setting. Let me refresh this page once. Okay, so that was the general settings. Now we have the ship rate. Let me open the ship rate page and let me refresh it once. Alright, so here the admin will be able to see all of the shipping rate lists that the sellers have added. So right now you can see that we have this column for the sellers, the distance from and two values, the weight from and two values, and the cost for that particular one, and its status. And similarly you can see right now the shipping area is being set up for the distance. So that's why we are having the distance from, distance to, weight from, weight to, and the cost applicable for the same. So these are the shipping rates that the sellers have added. Similarly, the admin can also add his own shipping rate list here, and can activate, deactivate, or delete any of the shipping rates that are already available for the sellers. So to add a new shipping rate, the admin can tap here on the add new button, and to add a new shipping rate, what he can do is he can first choose the owner for the shop or the seller. So basically under this section, the admin can add the shipping rate on behalf of the seller. So here he can choose an owner. Then what he can do is he can choose an CSV file or a comma separated value file. Let me open that up. So this is something what we call as a comma separated value file, wherein the admin needs to enter the distance from and 2 units, the weight from and 2 units, and the cost for that, and the status is enabled or disabled. And this file needs to be uploaded back under this section here, under the choose file option. And this way you can do it in in bulk, the shipping rate list. Otherwise, if you want to do one by one, then you can just do one thing. Under the owner, choose the seller, the distance from, the distance to, then the weight from, weight to, the cost, and the status for that, and you can type the save shipping rate for that particular owner. Now let me go to the shipping rate again. Alright, so that's how you can set up the shipping rates. We have just set it for that seller there. Now this was when the admin has set up the set ship area as distance. What if we choose city, state, province, and country? What happens then? So let me save the settings first, and now let me go to the ship rate. So basically the ship rate list is exactly the same. Now we have the ship area option available under the admin, and the same goes for the sellers as well. When we have the let me open the settings section first. So whenever we are having the set ship area as a distance, then the ship rate would only be available for the sellers. But when we have chosen this option as a city, state, province, and country, then the ship area would also be available to the sellers as well. So under the ship area, the admin can see the list of what we say as the ship areas, wherein the shipments are available, and the admin can basically add a new ship area list as well. So for that, what he needs to do, tap the add new button, choose the seller for whom the admin wants to add the shipping list, enter the address, it would auto populate, choose the address type as city, state, or country, latitude and longitude are auto filled, and the status for that particular one, and tap the save shipping area. So that's how the admin can add a shipping area for the sellers from the admin backend panel under the ship area section here. So now let me take you, that was the basic settings under the settings section as I've just showed you. Then we did the ship rate, and when we chose the ship area as city, state, province, country, we had the ship area option. We set up the ship area as well for the admin as well as for the sellers. Now let me take you to the web store front end, and let me access the seller account first. So at the front end, let me log in as a seller, and after I've logged in, on the left hand side you can see we have this hyperlocal option, and if I tap on that, this will bring up the section wherein right now we can see that we have the address, the type of the address, its latitude, longitude, the status, and the action column. So here we can add a new area by tapping a new area button. We can add new rates, and we can also set up the seller origin. So these three options are only available when we have set the set ship area as city, state, province, and country. And if you choose this as a distance, I'll show you what happens. So right now let's go back and let me show you the seller origin. So the seller would enter his shipping origin. After entering, latitude, longitude get auto added, and then save origin would save the seller's origin. And let's come to the add shipping rate. Here the seller can download the sample comma separated value file and then enter these values. and then upload the file, and that way he'll be able to set up the distance from to, weight from to, cost for that particular one, and these what we say as the shipping rates. So he can also manually do one by one by tapping the add rate button here. That way he'll have to enter each of the shipping rates one by one, and tapping the save shipping rate would save that particular shipping rate. And lastly, let's come to the edge shipping area. Here the seller can enter the address type, the status as enabled, and save the shipping area. So here we are having a hyperlocal option for the sellers, and under the hyperlocal we were able to add a new area. So here I've just added this one. We can add a new area, we can add new shipping rates, and we can set up the seller origin as well. Now let me make this as city, state, and let's choose this as distance now, and let me save the configuration. Now let me come back to the front end. Let me refresh this particular page. So right now I'll just come to the hyperlocal once again. So here we can see that now right now under the hyperlocal we're only able to see the shipping rates, and we can add the shipping rates only, and we can set up the distance from, distance to, weight from, weight to, and the cost for each of them. So that's how this particular hyperlocal system works for the multi-vendor marketplace system within it. And I hope you could have you would have understood how this particular plugin works. And if you have any questions or queries regarding this particular plugin, then you can always get back to us at support@webpool.com, or you may raise a ticket at webpool.uds.com. Thanks for watching this video, and have a great day ahead.